excited that you're tuning in today. Today we're going to talk about entrepreneurial spirit. So, the spirit of an entrepreneur, because this channel is made for young female entrepreneurs. So, I just had a call with an entrepreneur from Indonesia. She is a family friend of ours, and she and all of her sisters are entrepreneurs by they just embody it, and they all have the spirit and this energy. And she was actually talking about the spirit of an entrepreneur. That's why I call this live video like that right now, because it is so cool. Like, being an entrepreneur is not just, are you an employee or are you an entrepreneur? It is who you are, it's how you think, it's what you embody, it's the thought process that you have, it's the beliefs, it's the mindset. It's a different kind of being. And I have some learnings. I actually wrote down when we talked. I took some notes and I want to share them with you right now. Now my laptop went and said goodbye. And the number one thing I really realized when she was talking is opportunities. Entrepreneurs see opportunities where other people don't. When we are in situations of challenges and crisis and a lot of things are going on, there's always a lot of opportunities. And when everybody seems like, oh, this is like too much, this is overwhelming, then an entrepreneur is thinking like, this is an opportunity and how can we use it? And I remember her sister. So her sister lived 1 year at my mom's family and her parents when they were teenagers. And I remembered her one time. She was on a phone and she was always like texting because so many people were messaging her. And she was like, all people always come to me with their problems because they know that I'm a good solution finder. And when I heard that, I was like, I was younger and I was like, I don't want that all people are coming with their problems to me. But that is what we are as entrepreneurs. We find solutions for problems. And problems are just situations where they have not been an answer yet and they have not been found a solution yet. And it is a way of thinking to always find and see opportunities. And she was talking about it. She probably said the word opportunities like 10 times in like 2 sentences or something. I always heard her just saying it is to find opportunities and to create opportunities, to create employment for other people, and therefore creating opportunities. And let's get my notes. My laptop is on now. Let's get to my notes and see what I wrote down. So, I asked her what are skills an entrepreneur needs, and she was like fast learner. And it is so cool to see what I read in books to be embodied in another person, and that even though she's like a completely different generation, has a completely different cultural background, she believes that and she embodies it. And it's just cool to see that, because I love learning and I think there's nothing more exciting and cool about reading, about learning from people. And that was what she was saying, that we can learn from everyone around us and from every situation that we are in. And we as entrepreneurs, and the entrepreneurial spirit is that we commit to learning and that we continue to learn all the time and everywhere. And I think that is just so cool, because knowledge and then putting it into action is so much power. And this is the way we can create change, and this is the way we can create and add value to other people's lives. And business transactions are basically, I'm adding value to your life and you want to give me something back, and you do it in the form of money. And then the next characteristic she said an entrepreneur has to have is to never quit. And we always heard that, like, everyone who's like a little bit into entrepreneurship has always seen these videos about motivation and never quit and never give up. And I was asking her, it is easy to say never quit, but what can we do when we are faced with challenges and crises, and how are we able to not quit, and what do we need to do, or who do we need to become in order to keep going? And she was like, it is okay to cry. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to even step back sometimes, to look at the situation, reconcile, and then start again. But as an entrepreneur, no matter what failure is coming in our ways, we continue, and we continue to learn, we continue to go. And like, stepping back is not quitting. Stepping back can be very smart at some points. Step back and see this situation. And I also ask her, what do I need? What kind of skills and what kind of mindset do I need in order to become a great problem solver? And one thing she was telling me is, we need to always find the cause. What is the root? What is the cause for the problem? Because often there is a problem, but we're trying to just numb the symptoms instead of really finding the cause and really finding the source, and then changing that and working on that for the problem to not come up again. So I think that is just so cool to just like see. For this YouTube channel, my vision and that I'm building right now and I'm creating and like putting into action is, I want to have like entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs from all over the world, from all countries, from all cultures, from all religions, just like a very colorful, mixed like community to watch these videos and to be on these videos, to be interviewed. And because I think there are so many cool things and experiences and advantages and opportunities lying in diversity and lying in those different cultures, in those different nations, in those different people and characteristics. And I think it's just so cool that God created this world so colorful and so abundant. And I just want to like bring it together, and especially for women. So I think that is super cool. Let's see what's making here noise. And so what I really liked her, we talked about negotiation, because I just listened to the audiobook of Negotiation, Never Split the Difference. It is a great audiobook, but it really surprised me because it is written from a guy who was in the FBI and who did a lot of hostage negotiation. So if somebody like kidnaps somebody else, then he negotiates with them to give those people back. So he speaks from that standpoint, and then continually throughout the book he comes to the conclusion how we can use these skills and the skill set of negotiation in our everyday life, in our business, and to just convince people, pursue people to like break point, to get what we want, get our way, and to find like opportunities for both sides. So then I ask her, like, what is important in a negotiation? You have already been in a lot of negotiations with big numbers, with small numbers, with different kind of people. And she was like, it is important to know what the other person needs. Negotiation is basically to understand what do they need and what do I need, and to value the other person's feelings and emotions, and to value your own feelings and emotions, and then be like, your perspective and your expectations are important, my wants, my needs, and my expectations are important. How can we come together? And then basically find the ground. And reading between the lines, she was talking about that people are saying one thing and meaning a different thing, or their unexpressed desires or wants, and to listen between the lines and understand what do people actually want, what do people actually need, and then just like offer that to them, and then find the base ground in which we can, where both parties are like, yes, I can agree with that, and that is fine for me. So that's why business has to do just so much with people. Business is just helping people, and we can help people when we understand them and when we know what they need. So that's why when we have experienced some kind of relational trauma in our past, it is so hard to have great business transaction or deals, because it is just so based on humans. Because back in the days, people maybe didn't call it business, but what they were doing is they were exchanging goods and services, and that is what a business is. And you're always doing business with another human being, and therefore understanding people and understanding how people are working and understanding human psychology and just like all kind of human abilities is so important. And that's why when we have experienced trauma, we can have difficulties with that. And when we heal our relationship patterns, we will see positive aspects in our finances, in our way we do business. So I think that is just so cool to see. And let's see, what else did she say? Yeah, she really like focus on what do they really, really want. Understand what they want. And then we talked about sales, and she was like, selling is basically really understanding what do they need. What is what they need? Because when I can give them what they need, then they want to buy from me because that's what they need. And when I sell something to people is, do they really need it? Do they really need it? And another thing she was talking about selling as well as negotiation is that we need to be clear, that we need to be strong, that we need to be tough, but we don't have to be harsh. We can be strong and very knowledgeable and like convinced of our own standpoint and confident and still be soft. She was like, I'm always soft when I negotiate, but I'm strong and I'm knowledgeable and I'm still tough. So I think that is just so cool, because when I was younger, I thought negotiation was like you have to be harsh and you'll be like bam, 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 bam. That's how we do it. But it's not that way. It is being strong and having boundaries and setting boundaries and communicating our needs and still being very soft and pleasant and nice and just a good person to be around. So that was a really cool aspect that she was saying, and I really like that. So, what else? Then we also talked about networking, and she and her sisters are great at networking. They know so many great and amazing and successful and just beautiful human beings. So I was like, why do you think network is important? Having a good network, and how do we build a good network? And she was like, a network is so important. Actually, what was her answer? I think she directly said how to build good relationships. I need to ask her again the why question. But she said building a good network is, first of all, starting to say hello to people. And I realized that networking starts wherever I am. When I'm in church, I can network. When I'm on this, like, just wherever I am on some kind of event, I can network. And starting to say hello to people, to greet people, to be able to talk to anyone at any time, wherever I am, that is a skill that we need to learn. And some people are like, I don't like small talk, it's so weird. But that is something we can get over and we can get used to. And myself, I am more and more like really getting comfortable to just talk to anyone. I'm also really extroverted, but I think that is a skill that we can all still learn. And it's just so cool to see how easy it is to talk to people, to get to know new people. And I was sometimes like being more passive and being like, I want that people start talking to me and invite me. But everyone, like a lot of people have like difficulties to start talking to people. And if we have the ability to talk to people and to do the first step and to greet people and to invite people and to lead the conversation and ask them how they are, get to know them, then this is just such a great skill and so immensely important for entrepreneurs, because as I said, business is doing like meeting other people's needs and therefore getting like money in exchange for it. How can we do that if we're awkward around people? When we feel good around people and we feel pleasant around people and we feel safe around people and we're a good communicator, then it is easy. It is easy. And also to just keep relationships, because as an adult we have like, we don't see all the people we know and our friends every single day, as we did maybe in high school or school where we have them around all the time anyways, most of them. We need to be more proactive and even maybe install systems that we have in place, so that we write them for birthdays or for other like special events or just randomly. And I was always like, no, I don't want to write them. It's so weird. We haven't talked for so long. I don't want to call them. And now I just see that people love and appreciate it if I do so, because people are busy, and just because they're not reaching out to you does not mean that they don't want to like talk to you. And if we incorporate just the habit to reach out to people and to ask how they feel, and just like reconnect and connect continuously, then that is just really great. And to build trust, because like when we build trust, we trust other people. I trust and I open up about what I really need, and I like to get my needs met from people I trust and I feel safe with. And when we build trust, we can then help other people. And that is just what business is about, helping other people. And therefore, it's so important to build trust in our relationships and to just build relationships, basically. And that's why, as I said, it's so important to do the inner work on relationships and having a secure attachment style. And yes, it is so cool because I just see the positive effects my inner work has on my relationships, and my relationships are just growing and glowing and just becoming so much more better and filled with love and connection. And I'm just like so blessed, and I'm like, this is what I really, really, really craved. And I'm so thankful that I am becoming more and more skilled and being a person who has healthy relationships and who is able to build healthy relationships and connection and trust in those relationships. I am currently rereading the book Keep Your Love On, and it is basically about healthy relationships and building healthy relationships, and it is so, so, so good. What I learned most about is the trust cycle. So when we have a need, we express the need, and then another person reacts to it, either positively or not positively, and then my needs get met. Then if they reacted positively, a trust cycle is like finished, and it builds trust. And this is happening as children. And when parents fail to build the trust cycle like more often, then we have trust issues. And and we can relearn to build trust with other people, and by doing our inner work and by feeling the hurt that we're happening, and then we can just learn how to express our needs better. So it is our responsibility to communicate our needs and to express our needs, and it is the other person's responsibility to do the same. And then I can help them to meet their needs, and they can help me to meet my needs, and then they feel loved by me and I feel loved by them, and then we have an relational exchange, and that builds relationship and that builds connection. And I just love how the book describes it. I have read the book already once, like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, and I can just highly recommend it. It's called Keep Your Love On. It is really, really good. So my number one key takeaway from the conversation I had with this female entrepreneur from Indonesia was selling is basically meeting other people's needs. And yeah, I think that was just so good and so on point. What was your number one key takeaway from this video? I would be so excited to see what you took away from this video. And also, I have created a workbook. It's called Confidence, and it's a workbook about confidence, and it's filled with journal prompts and affirmations and exercises that help us to create more confident, to become more confident, to have this confident and still warm and feminine glow around us. It is so good, it's so valuable, and it helps us to rewire our beliefs, change our neural pathways, and just change the way our brain is wired. The link is going to be in the bio, so if you want to get it, check it out. And I'm so excited to see you in the next video. I had so much fun with you, and I see you soon. Give a thumbs up and like and subscribe. Bye bye.